defiled mind. But when the Buddha comes out of concentration and enters into a concentration of the desire realm, he has not a single moment of distracted mind. This is why he has no non-concentrated mind. Furthermore, according to the Sravaka system, when the magically created beings preach the Dharma, their creator, namely, the Sravaka, does not speak, and when the creator speaks, the magically created beings do not speak. It is not so with the Buddha. The magically created beings and their creator, namely, the Buddha, preach the Dharma together. In the Sravakas, the mind in concentration is necessarily different from the mind of creation, and when the Sravaka enters into concentration, he does not speak. The Buddha himself, while remaining in concentration, is able to preach the Dharma and to walk about. This is what is said in the Metsi King, in regard to the secret of the mind. The mind of the Buddhas is always in concentration, but they are still able to preach the Dharma. Furthermore, distractions, fetters, doubts do not exist in the Buddha. Although he has no doubts concerning the Four Truths, the Arhat often still has doubts about Dharmas. The eternally concentrated Buddha has no doubts about Dharmas. This is why he has no non-concentrated mind. Moreover, the Arhat who still has traces of the disturbing emotions and is capable of regressing has distractions. The Buddha who, in his omniscience, has complete knowledge, has no distractions. He is like a vessel full of water where there is neither sound nor movement. The Buddha is the only person who can be called free of deception. He is the foremost of the three strong individuals. His mind remains unchanged in suffering as in happiness. All the characteristics of things, unity, multiplicity, production, cessation, interruption, permanent coming and going are deceptions, the formation of a collection of falsehoods. Since the Buddha is well established in the true nature of dharmas, his mind is never non-concentrated, and being never non-concentrated, it does not change. Moreover, among the five incomprehensible things, the attributes of the Buddha are the most incomprehensible. These 18 special attributes are the profound treasure of the Buddha. Who can understand them? This is why it is certain that the Buddha has no non-concentrated mind. Although the Buddha enters into concentration, he does not have these coarse minds of investigation and analysis. Having incomprehensible knowledge, he can preach the Dharma. The heavenly musical instruments make all sorts of sounds dear to the gods, and they do so while being without mind or consciousness by virtue of the merits acquired by the gods. If these heavenly musical instruments that are without mind or consciousness do such things, how could it be said that the Buddha, who is endowed with mind, cannot preach the Dharma? This is why it is said that the Buddha does not have a non-concentrated mind. 6. The Buddha has no unconsidered equanimity. He has no unconsidered equanimity. Beings have three types of sensations: unpleasant, pleasant, neither unpleasant nor pleasant. The unpleasant sensation produces hatred, the pleasant sensation produces love, the neither unpleasant nor pleasant produces confusion. Of these three kinds of sensation, the unpleasant sensation produces suffering, abides in suffering and destroys happiness. The pleasant sensation produces happiness, abides in happiness and destroys suffering. As for the neither unpleasant nor pleasant sensation, one does not know if it is suffering or if it is happiness. Other people who are of weak faculties experience the unpleasant and the pleasant sensations especially. But they do not feel the neither unpleasant nor pleasant sensation, they do not know it and have only indifference for it. They are fettered by the fetter of confusion. The Buddha, on the other hand, knows completely the moment of arising, the moment of duration and the moment of cessation of the neither unpleasant nor pleasant sensation. This is why it is said that the Buddha has no unconsidered equanimity. Question. But what is equanimity here? Is it the absence of suffering and happiness which is upeksa? Or is it a matter of the upeksa that is one of the 7 factors of enlightenment? Or again is it the upeksa that is one of the 4 immeasurables? Answer. The absence of suffering and of happiness constitutes the twofold domain of upeksa, and the abandoning of this domain is also called upeksa. How is that? In the course of a neither unpleasant nor pleasant sensation, other people do not take into account, from moment to moment, the moments of arising, of duration and cessation of this sensation. It takes a long time for them to notice it. But the Buddha cognizes these three moments completely, each successive moment. Upeksa is also part of the 7 factors of enlightenment. When the mind is completely balanced, when it is not sinking or being scattered, this is when equanimity should be practiced. In the moments of sinking, one practices the notion of exertion, and in the moments of distraction, one practices the notion of concentration of the mind. In some circumstances, the arhats and pratyeka Buddhas concentrate their mind wrongly or excite it wrongly, and their equanimity is thus in disequilibrium. The Buddha, however, is never without completely cognizing the coarseness or the subtleness, the profundity or the superficiality inherent in the instantaneous minds. Knowing that, he is truly indifferent. Question. If that is so, how was the Buddha able to talk to the bhiksus about Nantu, saying, "In Nanda, the sensations are completely conscious at the moment when they arise, completely conscious when they endure, and completely conscious at the moment when they are destroyed, and it is the same for the notions and investigations"? Is that not a privilege reserved to the Buddha? Answer. There are 2 ways of being conscious. 1. When a dukkha-vedana or unpleasant sensation arises, knowing that a dukkha-vedana is arising. When a dukkha-vedana continues, knowing that a dukkha-vedana is continuing. When a dukkha-vedana ceases, knowing that a dukkha-vedana is ceasing. When a sukha-vedana pleasant sensation arises, knowing that a sukha-vedana is arising. When a sukha-vedana continues, knowing that a sukha-vedana is continuing. When a sukha-vedana ceases, knowing that a sukha-vedana is ceasing. The same for a dukkha-sukha-vedana, neither unpleasant nor pleasant sensation. This is known only the general characteristics but not the specific characteristics of the sensation. This way of being conscious was that of Nanda. 2. Having full consciousness and full awareness from moment to moment of the dukkha, sukha and adukha sukha vedana succeeding one another from moment to moment and not ignoring the mental events following one another from moment to moment. This is the way of being conscious of the Buddha. This is why it is said that he has no unconsidered indifference.